Hey everybody, welcome back to Nico Brothers for continuing to build on our RV. Man, this crazy project that we got ourselves into, the more and more we take apart, the more damage we find, the more we get into a big mess. And you know, we're past the point of no return, I would say, because we already started this back in the day. We couldn't get the engine running, but now we're gonna knock it out. We're gonna get this thing finished. So make sure you guys pay attention to all these series they're gonna do, but we're gonna get it. So the game plan today is to get this other fiberglass shell mask off, basically what we did to our parts one. The whole thing should just come off, but ours is in pieces, so yeah, we're gonna take it off in pieces, and then we'll take the glass out. We're gonna keep going, but man, just looking at it, we noticed some more damage. The floor basically got some water damage going on, so we have to probably replace the plywood. Maybe the window was leaking. You could see it kind of like already starting to, I don't know, deform there. So we got some plywood we gotta replace. We might as well, since we're going at it, make it real nice and stuff. So we're gonna try to get the side pieces good. You know, basically the aluminum frame rails, the fiberglass, before we start putting on all the good parts. Let's get rid of all the bad parts, refurbish what we can, while we have it all taken apart. Yeah, a lot of work, still going at it, but let's go ahead and get it done. And there we go, guys, fell right off. But hey, it's looking really nice up here. No water damage. Frame rails look really good. All the aluminum pieces are nice. Yeah, there's your little membrane thing. It's pretty cool. Looks good. We got some trees going on for shade, but it's overall pretty good. At least we took something off and no hidden damage. Yay. That's nice. Extra pieces right there. Yeah. Getting it done. Out with the old and sooner or later in with the new, but we still have a couple more things to do before we can start reassembling. This is our parts one. Everything we need. I even made some more windows to make it breezy. Oh yeah. It's just super thin, whatever that is. It's not even like, it's wood, but it's not even the cheapest, whatever. All good. Looks kind of cool. But those are the rails that we need. Let's cut it, grind it, re-weld it, and we're good to go. All right guys, so chairs are coming out. The game plan is basically to replace this entire floor. Might as well, you know, there's probably some black mold all around, so we'll just get that out. And also the side walls as well. So just in case there's any water damage from the front end accident, we'll replace the floors completely. And that way we'll be able to tell if there's any more damage. Since we're going at it, why not, you know, keep ripping apart. and eventually one day we'll put together. But we're getting there. Let's go ahead and get these chairs out. We'll keep them safe because they're actually really nice chairs. They're like $1,000 a piece, these captain chairs. So we'll put them away, try to keep them safe, away from all the crazy stuff we're doing. Let's get it done. All right, guys, it is the next day. We had a great weekend. So basically, Ivan is working on the bones of the side of the RV, just aluminum tubing, welding all together. Actually added a couple more welds than they had before, because surprisingly, there wasn't that many welds on it. So that's why it just fell apart when it got hit. It just came apart, honestly. We were taking apart the good one, shaking, and a piece just fell and hit my head. You know, that's part of it, but it's all good. That's looking nice, getting all secure. Check out the progress outside. Our parts donor RV doesn't look like an RV anymore. It looks just like a trailer. All cut up and burned. But we just got out what we needed. Moving forward. Covered up our good dash because it was raining, as you could tell. Nice little pool there. Got it all covered up. Let's go ahead and take it apart and check it out. So I'm gonna go work on the floors, get this replaced. Gotta go to the local hardware store, get some plywood. Man, some really thin stuff on the side. Basically, this is it. So I'm gonna replace this sidewall right here. There's not much to it. Unfortunately, it's all glued. That's gonna be a pain in the butt to take apart. Same thing on this side, it's all glued. I started ripping it off right here, and man, that is definitely solid on there. Does not want to come apart. I'm gonna have to like scrape it off piece by piece. So I'm thinking just to cut it right here, because this section is good. If I just cut this section off, replace this piece, the same thing on that side, the chair is going to be bolted right there, so there's a big old plate, big old chair, and that'll definitely squeeze it down, and so nothing's going to come up or anything like that. And as long as we keep water out, it shouldn't be warping. So that should be fine. Probably do 2 sectional pieces, cut this apart, measure it out, scrape that all off, because my centerpiece is still good. I mean, this is solid. It's still all that glue in there and stuff. There's no need to start messing with that, but let's get this floor replaced and ripped out. Oh boy. All right, got my materials ready to go. I mean, obviously it would be better just to use as one piece. I'm gonna try to rip it all out. If not, because that'd be nice, you don't have to worry about future stuff bowing or anything, so one piece is always better. Let's do it, whatever. Take a little extra time, but we'll get it done right. Wow guys, this thing is definitely glued on there. It's taken me all day just to rip this old floor off. I'm surprised. This is probably like the strongest pieces I've seen in this RV so far. Whatever this pink glue they use, this foam adhesive, it is doing the trick. Just having to like rip it off splinter by splinter, but now it's time for power tools. I think I got the majority big pieces off. Now I'm just gonna have to go through and clean it all up. And I still have this wall to do. Oh boy. Lots of trash, man. This place is becoming a mess, but hey, sometimes it's got to get dirtier before it gets cleaner, right? So it gets messy cleaning up stuff, but let's go ahead and get our power tools out and get this thing cleaned up and try to get rid of all these other pieces. Who knows, maybe this will go faster. Maybe not.
It's unfortunate, that water damage, making a lot more work than we have to because we have enough work to do as it is, but it's okay. Looks like it got a little farther over there, so I'm gonna take this panel off, I'm gonna take this seat belt off, that little cover, just to check back there, make sure there's no water damage over there as well. Might as well, we're digging into it, you know, we're gonna get it. So, make this thing real nice. Wow, but yeah, these things, they are glued on there, they're not meant to come off. It's just piece by piece, same thing. No big deal. I got me some new boards. It's really thin. If you look at it, it's like, man, there's nothing there. But that is a pain. Get it cleaned off, you know, grind it up later. The floor is looking pretty good. I'm pretty sure that's where I need it to be. Like I said, I already got my new floor, but might as well keep demoing and get it all taken apart before I start putting it back together. All right, let's keep it going. Oh, my grinding set off the smoke alarm. You guys said any batteries, but hey, look, it's working. Man, this thing is definitely a lot of work. Woo-wee, I am covered in styrofoam, wood chips, metal chips, all sorts of glue chips. But it's looking good. Still have some more to do right there, rip it all off. Then I'll be ready for my new boards. Man, going at it. All right, looking good. Walls cleaned up. Floor's cleaned up, looking nice, ready for my new piece of plywood. Got a whole bunch of liquid nails, some other bond stuff. Let's check it out. All right, let's get some measurements going and cut out my new board. It's actually smaller in the front than it is in the back. The whole thing is angled, so it's like wide in the back and then just narrows up. Kind of weird, but it is what it is. So just get some measurements, make some angles, make some cuts. I'll probably take this thing off and just get the router and cut that off or something. Jigsaw probably, since we have one of those anyway. So just a couple screws in the bottom. We'll take that off, make it a little easier. But yeah, those gears are done. We'll make our fitment first, make sure it gets in there nice and firm and fit, and then after that, glue it down. All right, made my measurements. I hope I got my dimensions right. Had to make a couple lines, but I think it's adding up. Definitely checking twice before, you know, cut once. Plywood's still expensive nowadays, but let's go ahead and get it done and check out the fitment. All right, we are cut, we are sanded. Let's go ahead and pre-fit it, make sure it's lining up and butting up nicely before we add any glue or anything like that. Yeah, hopefully it fits. Alright guys, so it's looking pretty good on my three sides, back wall, the side wall, so the trapezoid's looking good. I'm happy about that. Now I'm gonna basically mark the front. I left it a little overhanging just to, you know, just in case, because you measure, some things doesn't work out, but it's fine. So we're just gonna mark it and cut off the extra in the front. That way we're good to go, and then we'll be ready for the glue and get it in there. So nice. Looks a lot better with our new floor though, for sure, than all that foam and steel tubing and big mess, but it's looking good. Let's mark it and get it cut and be moving forward. Alright guys, so we got a game plan for the floor. Basically I'm going to drill some holes, put some glue, squish it down. Not a big deal, but we're going to move right along and try to get our fitting right. So this is our skeleton, our bones for the driver's side, but it's actually the passenger side
but it's mirrored, so it's just, you know, identical, and we've moved it over because we didn't have the other side. But yeah, it's the exact same thing. Ivan went through it, added some extra welds to it to reinforce it, because it was kind of sad, the welds it had on. There was like one little spot weld, and yeah, so that's crazy.
We took it off and it actually broke, right?
It did, hit my head. Still got a bump over there, but it's all good. Moving on live. Anywho, we're gonna go ahead and get it on there, make sure it's all lined up, jack it up, make sure it's looking good, you know, and
in place,
secure.
measure it up, and probably weld it in.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely exciting. We're actually moving forward. We're not demolishing things, we are building things, so that's great. Let's go ahead and get up there and see what it looks like. Alright, starting from the top and working our way down, get some spot welds on there. Alright guys, and just like that, Ivan got it welded up. Our skeleton, the bones are in, and it's looking great. Lined up nicely on top. So they're cut in sections, so we just buttered up to the other section piece, make sure everything's lining up perfectly. And yeah, honestly, it's starting to look like a face of an RV again. Really happy with it. So a lot of progress today. Took a lot longer than we thought, honestly, just to make it, you know, right kind of thing. Demolishing, it's easy. You can just rip stuff apart, but putting it back together and make sure everything's right, checking twice for the measurements and everything, it takes time. So yeah, we actually spent, I don't know, 2-3 days in this already kind of thing. Doesn't look like it, but we put a lot of effort into it. But hey, this is really crucial because right now we have to make sure everything lines up for everything else to fall into place. But unfortunately, that's all the time we have today, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you stay tuned. We are going to continue the build. We're going to get this thing back on the road. That is our plan. We're not going to give up. Sometimes we feel like, you know, just tossing the towel, but hey, we're in it. We're going to get this thing going. Our fire alarm still needs batteries. Nothing has changed. We're going to keep going at it. Thanks, guys. We'll catch you next time.